PC leader Doug Ford has taken his Ontario election campaign tour south of the border. Ford is in Washington for the first of 2 days, trying to share an anti-tariff message with a U.S. audience. Senior Queen's Park reporter Mike Crawley is there for us, covering Ford's trip. Mike, tell us what's going on where you are.
Well, it's snowing in Washington, Shannon, and right behind me, this building is part of the Library of Congress, and it's actually where Doug Ford is hosting a reception, and the guest of honor is a U.S. Senator from North Dakota. Also, a bunch of the premiers from all across Canada are here tonight. We're actually about 2 miles from the White House over in that direction, and that is about as close as Doug Ford is going to get to Donald Trump on this trip.
Thank you so much for being here.
Doug Ford takes the stage at what's billed as a speech to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
I just want to tell you, I love the U.S. I love the American people.
Turns out Ford's audience in this Washington hotel is largely Canadian. Finding an actual American business person in the crowd proves hard.
I'm Josh Morgan. I'm the mayor of the City of London.
I'm a co-president of AGS Automotive, one of the oldest auto parts companies in Canada.
Still, Ford makes his plea against tariffs.
Let's stick together and please get the message to President Trump. This is not a good idea for both countries. Thank you, and God bless you.
What's not clear is whether anyone here has the power to get that message to Donald Trump, and if they did, whether it would make any difference.
I give the Premier huge credit for coming to try to fight the good fight, but I'm not sure much can change Donald Trump's mind at this point.
Eric Miller is American. He runs a cross-border trade consultancy here in Washington. What he thinks it will take to stop Trump?
Unfortunately, I think you're going to have to see pain. It's when you start seeing stock markets go down, when you start seeing vehicle plants close, when you start seeing the price of beef go up, when you start seeing the price of energy go up. That is what will get through to President Trump.
The PC party paid for Ford, his candidates, and his staff to make this trip. The provincial government covered the cost of today's event, including giving out copies of this glossy brochure, pitching what Ford calls Fortress AmCan. Meanwhile, back in Ontario, Ford's rivals slam his trip.
He's not there in Washington to protect our jobs, because the only job he wants to protect is his own.
In doing this in the middle of an election, people see his calling of the election as a very cynical move at a time when we needed to be not distracted.
Now, Doug Ford is here in his position as chair of the Council of the Federation, Canada's premiers. All 13 premiers are in Washington. This is the first time that that's ever happened, and they're here on what they're calling a joint strategic mission to try to improve Canada-U.S. relations. They've got a series of meetings here in the U.S. Capitol tomorrow. Shannon?
Mike, braving the elements for us tonight. We know you're going to be tracking it all, and we'll be checking in with you throughout this Washington trip. Thanks so much, Mike.